Good morning. I'm Bill Green, the current president of ACEC Colorado and president of the RMH Group. Welcome to a special digital program where we'll be recognizing the ACEC Colorado Scholarship and Education Foundation Scholarship winners, graduates of the most recent Leadership Development Program, and ACEC Colorado's Young Professional of the Year Award winner. Before I begin, I have a few announcements. I want to take this opportunity to thank our corporate sponsors who provide ongoing support of ACEC Colorado. Our diamond corporate sponsors are Initial IT, Ken's Print and Graphics, USI Insurance Services. And we greatly appreciate their commitment to ACEC Colorado. Use the chat feature if you need any assistance from the ACEC Colorado staff. Simply click the chat icon in the toolbar at the bottom of your screen, select Brenda Walters, and type a message and hit return. This webinar is being recorded as not all of our honorees could make the event today. We are going to begin today by recognizing the ACEC Colorado Scholarship and Education Foundation Scholarship winners. To do that, I'd like to introduce Jeff Koberger, President of the Foundation and Principal of HCDA Engineering. Jeff?
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it. ACEC Colorado Scholarship and Education Foundation's mission is to support and promote education in the field of engineering within Colorado. This year, we were able to award $11,500 in college scholarships among 3 students. The applicants represented multiple accredited engineering programs in the state of Colorado. Besides carrying heavy academic loads, our college scholarship recipients are active in student chapters of professional organizations. They provide community service and they have part-time jobs. The establishment of named scholarships has been a major factor in our ability to award more scholarships. 10 years ago, Leo, the son of Lee Rice, along with Lee's firm Leonard Rice Engineers, which is now LRE Water, established the Leonard Rice Memorial Scholarship. The scholarship committee is very grateful to the family and the firm for their financial commitment and support of future engineers. This scholarship is a wonderful tribute to the contribution to Lee Rice made to our profession and to ACEC Colorado. I am pleased to present the $6,000 Leonard Rice Memorial Scholarship to Joelle Westcott, who is studying civil engineering with a minor in global engineering at the University of Colorado in Boulder. Congratulations, Joelle. Our next scholarship recipient is Cole Velasquez, who is awarded the $3,000 Muller Engineering James M. Condon Memorial Scholarship. James was an excellent civil engineer who specialized in transportation and mobility projects. Cole is studying civil engineering with a minor in global engineering at the University of Colorado as well in Boulder. Congratulations, Cole. The third scholarship awarded is from the American Public Works Association's Colorado chapter, known as APWA Colorado. For the last 18 years, both the ACEC Colorado and APWA Colorado scholarship programs have benefited from our partnership. APWA Colorado annually presents the Jack Bruce Memorial Scholarship of $2,500 to a student who applies to the ACEC Colorado Scholarship Competition. We sincerely thank APWA Colorado for its continued support of our program. The recipient of this year's Jack Bruce Memorial Scholarship is Giovanni Hernandez. Giovanni is studying civil engineering with a concentration on construction at the University of Colorado in Boulder. Congratulations, Giovanni. This is a good one. The bridge building. In addition to these collegiate scholarships, We are also providing a $2,000 scholarship to Jonathan Banner Ott, a student at Rampart High School here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. He is this year's Region 2 winner of the annual Colorado High School Bridge Building Contest, sponsored by the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation, the National Society of Professional Engineers, and the ACEC Colorado Foundation. I'm pleased to extend congratulations to these students for their achievements and wish them continued success as they pursue their studies. I'll now hand the program back to you, Bill.
Thank you, Jeff, and congratulations to all of those scholarship winners. We will continue our celebration of engineers by recognizing the 2020-2021 Leadership Development Program graduates. ACC Colorado's leadership program was designed with input from our member firms and recognizes that as we grow in our professional lives, many of the key elements that made us successful leaders continue to be relevant, but the tools we need to engage and our responsibilities for generating success evolve. The program includes different progressive levels of leadership training. This past year, we held the program virtually for level 1 and level 2 for a total of 46 participants. Those participants have, over the last many months, taken time away from their daily endeavors to explore what's next. They have practiced new skills with their classmates, on their projects, with their clients, and with the help of their mentors. They have even mastered a new skill or two while extending their resource network beyond their firm to include engineering professionals from different disciplines, technical expertise, client types, and more. This program was designed and led by Calla Pott. Calla is owner of Align by Design and has more than 20 years of human resource and organizational development experience with small to medium-sized for-profit and nonprofit organizations. Prior to starting Align for Design, she was an HR consultant with a professional employer organization where she partnered with companies from diverse industries to align their human resource processes and strategies to support their business objectives. I am now pleased to turn our program over to Calla.
Oh, thank you so much, Bill. Well, this year, doing the class virtually, we had 2 quotes guide our class. For level 1, the quote was from Peter Drucker, and Peter Drucker is known as a management guru, researcher, author, and much more. But his quote is, "You cannot manage other people unless you manage yourself first." And for the level 2 class, the quote that guided us was from Marcus Buckingham, originally a researcher at Gallup and author of First Break All the Rules, What the World's Greatest Managers Do Differently. And his quote was, "People leave managers, not companies." The members of this graduating class, they've just chosen to take on the soft skills, which are really the hard skills. They have learned to use nonverbal communication and how to have those difficult conversations to communicate more effectively. Coaching and continuous learning are critical skills to help them and others reach higher levels of performance. As official representatives of the organization, they understood potential landmines of employment laws that could put their organization at risk. And they have practiced new skills and applied new knowledge to hire the best and onboard employees more successfully and effectively, to foster productive team dynamics, and to really understand their own reaction to change, as well as help others navigate change, of which we have all experienced during this pandemic. You know, leadership is hard work. It's a learned skill that comes with practice, reflection, some failures along the way, lessons learned, and successes. Peter Drucker once said, "Management is about doing things right, and leadership is doing the right things." And we all know that organizations get results through people, what they choose to do or choose not to do. And leaders are a critical element of that equation. And I really just want to thank all the members of the graduating class for adapting to change in a new environment, in a new training world, when it was thrust upon us to make this world, or make this year really a wonderful learning experience. And with that, I will turn it over to introduce several of our graduates from this year's program who are going to be sharing a little bit about their experience and any impact this program has had on them for them professionally and even personally. Our first speaker is from the Level 1 class, and Jeff Woolman is a Program Management Coordinator at Muller Engineering. Jeff, please take it away.
Thanks, Calla. Hey, everybody. I'm Jeff Woolman, and I'm here representing the 24 of us that had the opportunity to learn, network, and grow through that ACEC Level 1 leadership training taught by the fabulous Calla Pott. Now, I think we were one of the first groups to attend the training virtually. And, you know, there's no replacement for the in-person interaction, but we had breakout rooms, interactive exercises, virtual networking, and then the occasional Remember the Titans clip played. Calla really pulled out all the stops to ensure that it was really an educational and a fun atmosphere. Now, bringing things to the virtual world, there are some technical difficulties or mishaps that are inevitable. But it actually, you know, added to the experience. One of my favorite memories from the whole class is when Calla's microphone went haywire and her voice wasn't cutting out, but it was barely discernible, sort of like a Peter Frampton type robot. And she was trying to, you know, work to figure it out, turned off the video to try and get the internet to come back on. But in the chat, we put in a request for her to say the words intergalactic planetary. And so there's silence on her end for a little bit, and then intergalactic planetary, and we all just lost it because it sounded exactly like the Beastie Boys song. So it's just a really fun virtual experience, considering that we were all, you know, staying socially distant. But like many of my peers in the class, I'm at like a project engineer level where we're starting to see a little bit of management responsibility, and Level 1 just had the perfect curriculum. It felt like every class brought insight to an aspect of work that I could directly apply like that week. It was like, okay, that's what we learned. That's what we talked about. What can I do different? Like Calla mentioned, we learned skills necessary to manage others, but we spent most of the time learning how to manage ourselves, how we behave at work and in life, and why we behave that way. I'd like to highlight a few of my peers' testimonies who graciously gave me a little bit of content on their aha moments that resonated with them from different lessons. Sam's aha moment was that everybody has this different learning and social style, and we should strive to accommodate those styles, but in a team dynamic, there's some compromise and some conflict, and it's okay that exists as you find out how a team can find its stride. The lessons that we had on our own blind spots, identifying our own blind spots, led Denise to have a really productive conversation with her manager about how, about how she can reduce hers in the future. And so that came from the training. My own favorite takeaway really came as we studied at the end the change management and tied that into the dynamics of a newly formed team. I feel like most folks at this point with COVID are familiar with that change management curve. That's a pretty popular graphic, but it starts out with that initial optimism as a new project, a new responsibility, new team, and then it immediately takes a dive right into conflict before coming out the other end, hopefully for the better. I think the big realization I was talking about with my networking partner from the class, Tracy, our big aha moment was how the conflict is so natural. It's normal. It's almost to be expected as you're working through the changing dynamics of a project or a team. And it doesn't indicate failure. For an initial manager, you may be thinking, I need a straight line success, no drama to the end of the road. Well, that's just not realistic. But that conflict that will naturally arise doesn't indicate failure, but is part of the process. And realizing that we need to work through that without getting too hard on ourselves gave both of us a lot of confidence as we grow in our management and in our leadership. And so I think I speak for all my peers in the class when I say thank you to our respective firms for sponsoring the opportunity to participate in the training, and then also put in a plug and humbly request that we be considered for Level 2 sometime here in the future. Thank you, Calla.
Oh, well, thank you, Jeff. And the ahas really warm my heart. And I will try, I wish we had recorded that intergalactic piece there, because that would have been one for the ages. So it was a pleasure to have everybody in the level 1 class this year. Our other speaker is from level 2 class. Greg Prue is a project engineer at Martin Martin. Greg, would you please take it away?
Yeah, thanks, Calla. As she mentioned, my name is Greg Prue. I work for Martin Martin Consulting Engineers on their civil department side. I've been there for about 7 years, and I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, I took the level 1 class, and it was awesome. And Jeff did an amazing job summarizing it. He made me almost want to take it again. And the level 2 class really built on a lot of those blocks. And I don't want to repeat everything, you know, Calla and Jeff have kind of hit some of those different topics we've covered, but some of the highlights that we got to explore were communication styles, relationships, coaching and development, interviewing and recruiting, the difference between change and transition, some employment law topics, how to build a good team, how to have difficult conversations with your team, and then how to kind of recognize the different personality styles on your team through nonverbal and verbal cues. And it was amazing to, just like Jeff said in level 1, we had some very similar experiences of breakout sessions and networking and getting to kind of practice those manager type conversations and navigating hard topics and how to recruit people and how to recognize what employees and what personality traits you want to bring on to kind of improve your interviews, improve your onboarding, and overall improve your team. One of the key aha moments that we've talked about previously was kind of navigating that change process and helping your team to navigate that change process. And just like Jeff said, you're going to have that conflict or denial, and people are going to go into resistance, and then they're going to kind of transition to exploring, and then hopefully you can get that full buy-in and commitment. And it's funny, the cycle never ends, right? We saw this initial transition and change into working remotely, and now I think we've all been in the commitment phase for a little bit, and now we're kind of restarting the cycle over. And that was the aha moment that I kind of got from some of the other people in my classes. This stuff doesn't end, right? It's always continuous, and now we're kind of getting into a denial or resistance phase of going back to work or going back to the office and having to fight traffic and those things that we didn't miss. But it's good to kind of recognize that and kind of explore it. And now looking forward to maybe a hybrid working remote environment. And that's just been a really cool aha moment for me. We had some really funny topics when we were going through interviewing and recruiting and just going through some of the crazy interview questions that we've been asked of what type of animal would you be if you were an engineer, and just some things that, you know, that they're fun topics, but they don't really get a good feel for what that type of person is. So it was great to kind of learn how to conduct interviews, how to recruit, and what personality traits to kind of look for to help build your team based on behavior-based interviews versus just those fun icebreaker topics that you've probably heard in interviews before. Just like Jeff said, I want to say thank you to my managers, to my team, to Calla, to ACEC, and the rest of the people who were in the class with me. It was full of just amazing leaders and definitely future leaders of companies. And I'm very excited to get to work with them in the future. And hopefully there's a level 3 class that we can attend as well. Thank you.
Oh, Greg, thank you so much. That sounds wonderful. And yes, there is a level 3 class, and hopefully in a year or so, we'll be bringing that back to the in-person style of learning and connecting with folks. And what's so much fun is seeing how over the years, the different participants of the leadership development class connect with each other and stay in contact with each other, and the networking that is developed. So I look forward to having all of you in class again. I'd now like to recognize all of the graduates. These exceptional people gave a lot of their time and energy participating in this program. So we're going to bring up on the slide here our level 1 graduates, and we'll give you a few moments to see and recognize all those names there. And a shout out to all of them for their hard work, and look forward to seeing them in level 2. So speaking of the level 2 graduates, let's go ahead and put up on the screen all our level 2 graduates, really designed for that first project manager type of position as they're starting to manage people. And again, a big shout out to all of them for the hard work that they did this year and that personal growth. So again, congrats to everybody. It really is, it's always a pleasure getting to know you and helping you on your professional development and leadership journey. The ACEC Colorado's Board of Directors, members, and staff are, also congratulate everybody on your great achievement. It's, as we know, leadership is a journey, it's not a destination. So now I'm going to hand the program back to ACEC Colorado President, Bill Green.
Thank you, Calla. And I'd like to thank you for your dedication during the past year to help our members become better business leaders through the Leadership Development Program. You have made it really a great program. The final accomplishment we want to recognize today is the Young Professional of the Year Award. This award recognizes the outstanding talents, skills, and abilities of our next generation engineering leaders that have been shown on projects that significantly impact public welfare or further professional development and growth. ACEC Colorado's 2021 Young Professional of the Year Award winner is Christine Britton. Christine is a senior structural project engineer in JVA's Historic Preservation Studio. As a licensed professional engineer, Christine leverages her unique combination of a Bachelor of Science in Architectural Engineering and a Master of Science in Historic Preservation to preserve historic structures in Colorado and across the country. Christine has worked in places such as Mini Glacier Hotel, once listed as one of America's 11 most endangered historic places, and the 4-Bar-4 Stagecoach Hotel and Barn, named by Colorado Preservation, Inc. as one of Colorado's most endangered places. Her dedication to preservation extends beyond her extensive project work to volunteer and leadership contributions at both the local and national level. She is involved in JVA's committees, has given presentations on topics such as structural engineering portions of historic structural solutions, and authored an article in Structure magazine. Christine has been on the board of the Rocky Mountain chapter of Association for Preservation Technology for 3 years and currently serves as the president. She also volunteers as an instructor for the National Park Service's Brick, Earth, Stone, and Timber, or Best Preservation Workshop Series, a nationwide program that focuses on training NPS employees on the preservation of traditionally built architecture. Her commitment to her career and community have already made a significant impact on our profession. Christine, it is with great pleasure that we award you this. I would now like to invite you to say a few words and ask you to hold up the award so everyone can see it.
So much for that warm introduction, Bill. I really appreciate it. And here is the very neat award that I cannot wait to display on my desk when I return, hopefully soon, to the office. And thank you everyone for coming today. I know I really wish we could all be together in person to celebrate all of today's graduate scholarship recipients and award winners. But it is nice to get together virtually and to interact with someone other than my dogs. I'm hopeful and optimistic that we'll be able to gather in person next year. I'd like to begin by thanking ACEC for this award. With the quality and quantity of companies that are supported by this great organization and seeing so many rising stars just featured today in the program, I can only imagine how many accomplished nominees were considered this year. I'm so honored by this recognition, and I really look forward to representing ACEC with this distinction. To me, this award is a testament to my incredible support system of people that I've been fortunate enough to have throughout my life. From an early age, my parents created a supportive, loving environment that allowed me to start building skills and values such as confidence, critical thinking, and teamwork. Kind of the perfect storm for a budding engineer. No wonder both me and my brother ended up in the construction industry. My family has been behind me 100% through my education and career, and I'm forever grateful to them for that. I'm also grateful for all of my friends, classmates, and coworkers who've been there for me over the years as I build my education and grow in my career. Every single late night talk about hopes and dreams, engineering center study session, and water cooler brainstorming huddle have helped guide me to where I am today. I'd also like to thank my husband, Drew, for his unwavering support of me and my career. He is always there for me with open ears when I need to talk something out and make sure that we take time to celebrate any wins. Earlier this year, we welcomed our first child, and Drew has really stepped up to the plate, taking on many more responsibilities with our growing family so that I can keep building and growing my career. With this help, I hope we can show our daughter that anything is possible with hard work and support. Also, thank you to JVA and our great company leaders, including Tom Sell, Jeanette Torrance, and Kevin Tone, for supporting and encouraging me and my colleagues to grow in our careers, all while providing quality engineering services to our clients. I feel so fortunate to work for a company that is based in a location that I love, works on projects that I find interesting and fulfilling, encourages me to give back to the community and industry, and has values that align with mine. I kind of hit the jackpot. JVA has built a great group of hardworking people rooted in a strong, cohesive culture. I wouldn't be who I am today as an engineer if it weren't for my incredible coworkers. Thank you to Jeanette Torrance for nominating me for this award. With her extraordinary technical and people skills and her ability to understand anyone in their situation, she's a wonderful role model for me and the women in our company and the industry. I am also forever grateful to my supervisor and mentor, Ian Glasser, who steadily guides me in the wild west that is preservation structural engineering with patience and encouragement. Without each of the aforementioned people, I would not be who I am today or where I am in my career. I feel so fortunate for this support system, and I strive to support others in the same way. With this award, I look forward to continuing to grow in my career while representing JVA and ACEC as best as I possibly can. Thank you again.
Well, congratulations, Christine. And at this time, I'd like to again say congratulations to all of our future engineers and engineering leaders. In closing, I have a few quick announcements. Now that we've graduated this year's Leadership Development Program classes, it's not too soon to start thinking about next year. We've added a new module on diversity, equity, and inclusion to the complement of the other modules. It starts in August, so registration will open soon. We have also recently launched the latest salary survey, which is available on the website and includes COVID-19 related data. Our next digital fireside chat is on May 25th and will feature the owner of the company that designed and compiled this year's survey. The event is complimentary, but registration is required. And finally, it's not too early to begin thinking about the Engineering Excellence Awards. The annual How to Enter workshop will be held on Thursday, June 10th. If you have a project you'd like to enter, be sure to register for this free event, and it will provide a lot of great information. So thank you all for attending today. Thank you for your ongoing support of ACEC Colorado. And be sure to check out the website at acec-co.org for information about engineering news, great resources, and upcoming events. I want everyone to have a great day. Thank you.